By the time you turn 60, you've already lost up to 15% of your muscle mass. After 70, that number doubles, and by 80, nearly half of your muscle strength could be gone. This silent muscle loss, called sarcopenia, doesn't just make you weaker, it puts you at serious risk of falling, breaking bones, losing your independence, and even shortening your life expectancy. As a doctor who has worked closely with older adults for over 20 years, I've seen too many patients feel helpless as their muscles waste away despite trying protein shakes and eating more eggs. But here's the truth. Eggs aren't your only option. In fact, the Japanese, who have one of the healthiest aging populations in the world, rarely rely on eggs. Instead, they eat 3 specific traditional foods daily that naturally rebuild and protect their muscles. Let's discover what they are. These are not magic pills, just simple everyday foods backed by science and time. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. The life-saving role of muscle. After 60, muscle is more than strength. After age 60, it becomes your armor protecting you from falls, broken hips, and long hospital stays. I remember a patient of mine, Helen, 74. She came in after a minor slip in her kitchen, but because her leg muscles were weak, that small fall turned into a fractured hip. She spent 6 weeks in rehab, lost even more muscle, and told me, "I'm scared I'll never walk the same again." Unfortunately, Helen's story is not rare. Sarcopenia. The age-related loss of muscle affects up to 1/3 of people over 60 in the US, and it happens faster than most realize. Why? As we age, our ability to absorb and use protein declines. You may eat the same amount of protein you did in your 40s, but your body processes it less efficiently. That's why we often see people lose weight and strength even when they're eating enough. But here's the good news. Your body still responds to the right kinds of food, especially when they're easier to digest and contain powerful nutrients that support muscle regeneration. And this is where Japanese daily eating habits offer us a lesson. In Japan, elders don't just eat more protein, they eat smarter. They combine fermented foods, light animal proteins, and time-tested ingredients that improve how the body uses what it eats. This philosophy is rooted in shokuiku, a Japanese term meaning food education. It teaches not just what to eat, but how to eat for health, balance, and longevity. That's why many older Japanese adults stay strong well into their 80s and even 90s. They don't rely on pills or protein powders. Instead, their strength is built bite by bite at the kitchen table. And the best part, you can begin the same journey today, right from your own home. The story of an 86-year-old Japanese woman who still carries water upstairs. When I visited rural Japan a few years ago, I met a woman who completely changed the way I view aging. Her name was Mrs. Aiko. At 86, she lived alone in a small wooden house nestled in the hills of Nagano. No elevator, just steep stairs. Yet every morning she carried buckets of water up to her kitchen from a nearby well. Her back was straight, her step steady. She smiled as she worked. I asked her, "Don't you get tired?" She laughed softly. "If I stop moving, I'll rust like an old bicycle." What amazed me wasn't just her energy, it was how natural her strength felt. There were no protein powders in her kitchen, no supplements, just simple ingredients she had used all her life. Her breakfast: a small bowl of rice, a cup of miso soup, a few fermented soybeans natto, and tiny white fish sprinkled over pickled vegetables. It wasn't much, but it was powerful. From a nutritional standpoint, her meal was a powerhouse. The natto provided fermented soy protein and vitamin K2, which support muscle and bone. The miso soup improved digestion and nutrient absorption, making it easier for her body to use the protein she ate. The shirasu tiny baby sardines offered easily digestible animal protein, calcium, and omega-3s. These are not just meals, they're tools for resilience. In my medical practice, I often see older patients with a full cabinet of supplements, yet they continue to lose muscle. Why? Because supplements can't replace the complex synergy of real food, especially food prepared and eaten with intention as the Japanese do. Mrs. Aiko's diet reflects a deeper cultural wisdom. In Japan, meals are not rushed. Food is prepared with care. Ingredients are chosen for balance, color, and seasonal harmony. They follow the Ichiju Sansai principle, 1 soup, 3 side dishes, ensuring variety and nutritional completeness. This mindful eating supports not only the body, but also the spirit. It keeps people engaged, connected to their food and to life itself, and it shows. Japan has one of the highest rates of healthy life expectancy in the world, not just long life, but long life with strength and independence. Mrs. Aiko's story reminded me strength in old age doesn't come from extreme workouts or high-tech supplements. It comes from daily rituals, time-tested meals, and a body that's treated with gentle, consistent care. And it all starts with what's on your plate. Food. 1. Natto, the fermented soybeans that rebuild muscle. Let's start with what might be the most surprising and powerful food on this list, natto. Natto is a traditional Japanese dish made from fermented soybeans. It's sticky, stringy, and has a very distinct smell. To many outsiders, it's an acquired taste. But among older generations in Japan, especially those living in the countryside, natto is not just breakfast, it's a daily ritual. And here's what makes natto truly remarkable: its effect on muscle, bone, and overall vitality. First, natto is rich in plant-based protein. But unlike regular soybeans, the fermentation process breaks down proteins and anti-nutrients, making it easier for aging bodies to digest and absorb. For people over 60, this is key. Your body might not handle a steak as well as it used to, but natto delivers amino acids in a much gentler form. Second, natto is one of the best natural sources of vitamin K2. This vitamin is crucial for directing calcium to your bones and muscles, rather than letting it build up in your arteries. For older adults, K2 helps prevent osteoporosis and supports muscle regeneration. Studies have shown that people with higher vitamin K2 intake have better muscle function and reduced risk of fractures. Third, natto contains nattokinase, a unique enzyme produced during fermentation. It's been linked to improved blood flow and reduced clot risk, another bonus for older adults with circulation concerns. I once treated a retired teacher from Oregon who had spent 2 years living in Kyoto. When she returned to the US, she told me, "The one thing I brought back was natto." She had started eating it every morning in Japan, and she noticed her knees hurt less, her digestion improved, and she felt more energetic throughout the day. So how do the Japanese eat natto? Usually it's served cold right out of the pack. They add a little soy sauce, mustard, or chopped green onions, then stir it well until it becomes frothy. It's often poured over warm rice paired with miso soup and eaten as breakfast. Now you might wonder, can I find natto in the US? Yes, many Asian grocery stores and Japanese supermarkets carry frozen or refrigerated packs of natto. You don't need to eat a large amount. Even one small pack, about 50 dry a day, can be beneficial. If you're just starting out, try mixing it with avocado kimchi or a bit of egg yolk to mellow the flavor. And if you truly can't handle the taste, that's okay. There are freeze-dried natto powders and capsules available, but remember, whole food is always better. The full health benefits of natto come from eating it as a living food rich with probiotics, enzymes, and texture. In Japan, eating natto is not just about nutrition, it's a mindset. It represents a connection to tradition, to daily rhythm, and to caring for one's health in small but meaningful ways. Natto may never replace your morning eggs, but for many older Japanese adults, it is the egg rich in protein, but lighter fermented and easier on the body. Food. Number 2. Miso soup. The fermented broth that boosts digestion and muscle health. Imagine starting your morning not with coffee or toast, but with a warm, umami-rich bowl of miso soup. In Japan, this isn't just comfort food, it's a daily ritual and one of the most overlooked keys to healthy aging. Miso soup is made from fermented soybean paste miso mixed with dashi, a light broth made from dried seaweed, kombu, and bonito flakes katsuobushi. The result is a savory, deeply nourishing soup that's light yet rich in nutrients. And while it may seem simple, miso soup offers profound benefits, especially for those over 60 looking to protect their muscles, bones, and digestion. Let's begin with digestion. As we age, our stomach naturally produces less acid. This makes it harder to digest protein and absorb essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, all of which are critical for maintaining muscle mass and bone health. The fermentation process in miso counteracts this by introducing probiotics and natural enzymes that help balance the gut microbiome, improve nutrient absorption, and reduce gastrointestinal discomfort. In short, it's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about how well your body can use it. And miso soup helps your body use it better. Another little-known fact is that miso contains complete plant-based protein. While it doesn't pack the same quantity as meat, it provides all 9 essential amino acids. When paired with a bowl of rice or a few cubes of tofu, it becomes a protein-rich, gentle, and fully digestible meal, perfect for those with reduced appetite, difficulty chewing, or sensitive digestion. And there's more. Miso is anti-inflammatory. It's rich in antioxidants such as manganese, zinc, and phenolic acids, which help reduce chronic inflammation, a common culprit behind joint stiffness, fatigue, and muscle loss in older adults. By reducing this low-grade inflammation, miso supports not only stronger joints, but a more active, comfortable lifestyle. I recall one of my patients, Mr. Thompson, 67, who began incorporating miso soup into his daily routine shortly after retirement. He had chronic bloating in the mornings and stiffness in his hands that made writing difficult. After just 2 weeks of starting each day with a small bowl of miso soup, often with wakame seaweed tofu cubes and a sprinkle of scallions, his digestion improved and the stiffness eased noticeably. It's like oiling old hinges, he told me with a smile. But miso soup is more than medicine. In Japan, it's an emotional anchor. For generations, Japanese mothers have started their family's day with a freshly prepared bowl of miso soup. It's not rushed, it's not microwaved. It's handmade, warm, grounding, and meant to be shared. Even now, many elderly Japanese say, "My body doesn't feel awake until I've had my miso." This isn't just nostalgia. It's a kind of mindful nourishment. Preparing miso soup is a slow act of care. It requires attention, patience, and presence. And that mindfulness, combined with gentle nutrition, can shift how we begin our day from hurried to intentional, from reactive to grounded. If you're in the US, adding this healing soup to your daily rhythm is easier than you think. Miso paste is available at most health food stores and Asian markets. For beginners, start with white miso shiro. Miso, it's milder, slightly sweet and less salty than darker varieties. To make a basic bowl, warm 1 cup of water or dashi broth, never boil. Miso heat destroys probiotics. Stir in 1 tablespoon of miso paste until dissolved. Add tofu cubes, seaweed, wakame scallions, or any vegetables you like. Serve warm and eat slowly. It takes just 5 minutes, but the effect. It can ripple throughout your whole day, easing digestion, calming the body, and laying the foundation for strength from within. Miso soup may look simple, but within that humble bowl is a tradition tested by time, supported by science, and built for longevity. You don't need a full Japanese kitchen to benefit, just a small bowl, a quiet moment, a choice to begin the day with something that gently rebuilds you body and soul. Food. Shirasu, the tiny fish that strengthen muscle and bones. In Japan, one of the most beloved yet humble toppings for a bowl of rice is shirasu, tiny white boiled baby sardines or anchovies. At first glance, they may seem insignificant, but these delicate little fish are a secret powerhouse of muscle-supporting nutrients, especially for aging adults. Unlike larger fish or meats, shirasu is incredibly easy to chew, digest, and absorb. This makes them ideal for seniors who struggle with heavy proteins or have dental limitations. But don't let their size fool you, they're loaded with nutrition. Shirasu provides high-quality animal protein rich in essential amino acids needed for muscle repair. What's more, because they're eaten whole bones, they also offer an excellent source of calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, all of which play critical roles in maintaining both muscle strength and bone density. And there's more. These tiny fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which help reduce inflammation in joints and muscles. Chronic low-level inflammation is one of the silent causes of muscle loss and weakness in older adults. By incorporating anti-inflammatory foods like shirasu, you're addressing one of the root causes of decline. In coastal Japan, it's not unusual to see an elderly couple beginning their day with a bowl of warm rice topped with shirasu, a raw egg yolk, and a drizzle of soy sauce. It's soft, savory, and incredibly nourishing. At lunch or dinner, shirasu might be tossed with grated daikon radish, added to salads, folded into omelets, or even mixed into porridge. What makes shirasu truly unique is how effortlessly it fits into daily life. There's no need to cook or season heavily, just a small handful on top of your food adds flavor, texture, and nutrition. For older adults who may struggle with appetite or food fatigue, shirasu offers a low-effort, high-reward option that doesn't overwhelm the senses. I remember asking a centenarian in Shizuoka what he believed kept him strong into his 90s. He smiled, pointed to his bowl, and said, "Shirasu. I eat them every day. They're small, but they keep me walking." Even more than nutrition, the act of preparing a simple bowl with rice and shirasu becomes a gentle grounding habit. It encourages mindful eating, slowing down, appreciating the warmth of food, and connecting with tradition. In Japan, these small rituals are not just about nutrients. They're about preserving dignity, independence, and joy through food. If you live in the US, you might not find shirasu at your local grocery store, but don't worry. Japanese or Korean markets often carry them frozen, labeled as whitebait or boiled baby sardines. Just defrost and sprinkle them over your meals. And if you can't find shirasu at all, don't let that stop you. You can substitute with other small fish eaten whole, like canned sardines or anchovies packed in water or olive oil. While not identical, they provide similar benefits, especially when eaten regularly in modest amounts. One reason the Japanese emphasize small fish over red meat isn't just environmental, it's physiological. Smaller fish are lower in mercury, easier to digest, and gentler on the joints and gut. They're a more sustainable form of animal protein that works with your body, not against it. So if you're looking to protect your muscle mass, strengthen your bones, ease inflammation, and nourish your body without heaviness, shirasu is one of the most effortless ways to do it. Sometimes the tiniest foods carry the strongest power, and one small spoonful added with care can be the beginning of a stronger, steadier you. Bringing it all together. How to build a daily habit with these 3 Japanese superfoods. By now you've met 3 powerful yet simple foods that older Japanese adults use to stay strong: natto miso soup and shirasu. But how do you bring them into your daily life without overthinking or overcomplicating things? Let's start with a simple idea: 1 Japanese-inspired meal a day. For example, breakfast could be a warm bowl of rice topped with natto and green onions paired with a small bowl of miso soup and a sprinkle of shirasu on the side. In under 10 minutes, you've created a meal that supports digestion, reduces inflammation, delivers high-quality protein, and helps your muscles rebuild gently. If breakfast feels like too much, try introducing just 1 item. Maybe miso soup in the morning instead of coffee, or a spoonful of natto a few times a week. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. In Japan, the strength of the elderly doesn't come from extreme habits. It comes from quiet repetition. Meals built from care, eaten with intention. The balance of fermented foods, plant and animal proteins, and tradition creates a foundation that supports the body's natural ability to heal and grow even in old age. There's also beauty in combining these 3. The probiotics in miso and natto improve how your gut absorbs nutrients. The soft animal protein from shirasu fills in what the plant proteins lack. Together, they form a nutritional synergy that's greater than the sum of its parts. A famous Japanese saying goes, "What we eat every day becomes our body." It's a gentle reminder that health is not something we chase with supplements or shortcuts. It's something we build bite by bite, day by day. So here's what I recommend. Pick one of the 3 foods to start with this week. Eat it 3 times in whatever form feels most comfortable. Notice how your body responds, not just your muscles, but your digestion, energy, and mood. You don't need to move to Japan. You don't need to change everything, but you can start right now with 1 meal, 1 bowl, 1 mindful moment. Important cautions and considerations. When eating Japanese fermented foods. While these traditional Japanese foods offer incredible health benefits, it's important to know that they're not for everyone. Let's go over a few important cautions before you start adding natto miso or shirasu to your daily meals. First, natto and miso are high in vitamin K2, which plays a role in blood clotting. If you are currently taking blood thinners, especially warfarin, you should speak with your doctor before adding these foods. Vitamin K2 can interfere with how your medication works. Second, both natto and miso are made from soybeans. If you have a soy allergy, they're not safe for you even in small amounts. Always check labels for hidden soy ingredients in pre-packaged soups or powders. Third, some commercial miso pastes are heavily processed or pasteurized, which destroys the live probiotics that make it so beneficial. When shopping for miso, look for unpasteurized or raw miso kept in the refrigerated section. The label should list live cultures if it still contains active probiotics. When it comes to shirasu, they are generally safe and low in mercury. However, since they are high in calcium and sodium, people with certain kidney conditions or on low-sodium diets should consult their doctor before making them a daily habit. Finally, moderation is key. These foods are most powerful when used regularly, not excessively. Think of them as daily allies, not quick fixes. Always remember, even the healthiest food isn't one size fits all. Your body is unique. Talk to your healthcare provider if you have any concerns, especially if you're managing chronic conditions or taking medications. A wise Japanese phrase says, "Too much of anything, even good things, can become poison." Start small, stay aware, and listen to your body. We often think we need something big to restore our health: a new diet, a strict program, expensive supplements. But sometimes the answer is much smaller, much simpler. In Japan, strong, active elders don't rely on fads. They return to tradition meals prepared with intention. Ingredients that work with the body, not against it. Natto miso and shirasu are more than food. They're quiet rituals of self-respect. A way to nourish the muscles, soothe the joints, and offer the body what it truly needs: care, consistency, and time. So as you close this video, I invite you to try just one small change. Swap one meal, stir one bowl, choose one moment of stillness with your food. Your muscles, your bones, your future self, they'll thank you. Before you go, please share in the comments. Which of the 3 foods would you like to try first? I read every message, and your journey matters to me. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. We have more to explore together. Disclaimer: the health information in this video is not intended as medical advice and may not be suitable for everyone. Please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider before making changes to your diet or lifestyle. If you believe you may be experiencing a medical emergency, call your physician or emergency services immediately.